Yo, parish orphans and retrogrades. Yo, parish orphans and retrogrades. Hilarious and kind of tragic show for you today. Sean Hannity recently, about 13 days ago, did an interview with Sage Steele. And there are elements in this interview that'll make you laugh. There are elements that'll make you cry. There are elements that'll make you mad. If you're a Roman Catholic or any kind of respectable Catholic, really Christian. But I want to start just to show you I'm all heart. I'm not all teeth. I have a sense of humor about these things. I want to start out a sequence because this interview is so hilarious in some of its moments. Sage Steele interviewing Sean Hannity, getting more out of him, showing to the tough core of Hannity. He at moment 42 in the interview, Why I Left the Catholic Church, he talks a lot like, I would say, Michael Scott, when Michael Scott talks about how he's just lucky to get out. He used to run around with a tough street fighter gang, and he's just lucky he got out. This is how poor deluded Sean Hannity talks, starting at moment 42. And just for giggles and giggles, I thought we would open up here because it's going to be a fun show. This is the hardest I've laughed in a long time, I think, since I heard, I don't know, I've heard some bad poetry, some bad titles of fan poetry and stuff like that made me laugh really hard, over the last 6 years. I'm thinking of one instance in particular. I think this is the second hardest I've laughed in 6 years because I was thinking of a few different Michael Scott moments, a few different Dwight Schrute moments where he is acting as sensei. He's telling Sage Steele how to throw a punch, and it's going to be a fun show. Okay, so I've looked forward to this one for a long time. I don't want to just cover minute 42 to about minute 47 as if it's some ordinary moment in the interview or perhaps our lives. It is an extraordinary moment in both the interview and our lives. So let's just get right down to it. We're going to get to Sean Hannity talking about why he left Roman Catholicism. It's retarded and boomerish as it gets. You can probably imagine the things he says when he talks about why he left the faith. He went to 12 years of Catholic school. He loves the Eucharist, but he wanted to leave the Eucharist. And it all boils down to contraception and divorce. If he's being honest, he gives a more convoluted iteration. But first, let's just get some of the random moments, snippets that he opens up about in his young life. This is Street Fighter Sean Hannity. And I know what you're thinking. Let me stop you right there. Yes, he does have a certified sensei. I'm not joking. Okay. It's going to be okay. So let's watch. He has a sensei. So look, I know you're probably thinking, if I ever see Sean Hannity in public, I'm a street fighter too. I'm going to fuck with this guy. Don't. And I'm not saying anyone should. No one should do that. Don't do that. There's one good reason, because we're all Christians here. We're all Roman Catholics. Sean Hannity gives you reason number dose not to mess with him, all right? It's because he's going to hurt you. Let's roll the tape.
Let me know if you guys have a hard time hearing this in chat.
I'm not a martial artist. But I am a situational street fighter, and I've trained for 15 years. Sticks, blades, firearms, you name any situation, I train for it,
Wait, hold on.
whatever
Pause
it
here.
may be.
Seriously,
Have you
throughout
ever
this,
killed somebody?
Sorry. Sorry.
yeah, have your, if you would, Steffi, have your hand pause ready
Yes.
with
I will.
Hannity like cat-like reflexes.
Okay.
Because we're going to be pausing a lot here.
That's cute.
Sage really shines him on here, and I'll get into the serious elements of this interview afterwards. But Sage really shines him on, and it's one of these things that pretty girls can do to dorky guys, and I would see this happen a lot in like middle school. In my high school, I remember the pretty girls at Plano Senior High would come in at late at lunch, and they would sing happy birthday every day of the week to the special needs kids, which I thought was really, really messed up. It never was down with that. Nearly got in some fights myself. I had to talk to my sensei about
Wait, not
that.
imaginary fights.
Yeah.
right?
Not but like I feel like Sage is just shining him on, and it's really it's hilarious. It granted me the heartiest guffaw in half decade of my life. I'm not joking, but I feel like it's kind of mean. And I mean, maybe she claims she doesn't want to, but all right. So let's just have that finger on the pause button so we
Okay,
can.
you got it.
Okay.
You got it, sweet cheeks. Here we go.
All right, sweet too. Sweet.
I'm kidding.
No.
With your knives and
No,
like,
Sage, I never have killed anybody. No. Believe it or not, I think one of the best lines, somebody was getting in my grill a little bit,
Uh-oh.
and I stepped back.
Whoa.
And when you step back, you always put your hands up.
Put them up, Sean.
protect your face.
Well, in case something goes down, they're already up.
Yeah.
So you just keep them up.
Yeah.
And so I stepped back and I said, look at me.
Look at Sean
Do
Hannity.
not make me hurt you.
Pause
I
there.
will.
All right, man. Okay, so look at me in my small, squinty Hannity eyes. Do not make me hurt you. I step back, I put up my dukes, and now you're finding out whether you got a dance partner. And his name is Hannity. All right. He takes this so seriously, right? Watch. Look at the seriousness in his eyes. He's about to get into some eye gouging, some straight punches, some elbows. He really keeps returning to the eye gouging though. So let's watch. And you got a kind of pretty girl shining on an elderly man. Maybe he's getting dementia or whatever. He's just full of himself. Never lose the street fighter. Consult Sensei Ira. All right, let's go.
They'll hurt you. I will blind you. I will rape your jaw if
So
it's
it's
hinged,
bad?
and I will knock you out.
Oh
That was-
shit!
It's
Did he say
usually-
rape your jaw?
I heard either rake.
I think it's
or
rake.
rape your jaw.
Bro, you want your jaw raked by Sean Edward Hannity or whatever his middle name. It gets better. Okay, let's just go. I won't be so annoying.
There's a boom. I just
Oh,
put
oh.
that. Then you can do a earbox.
Earbox.
Disorient them. Grab the back of their head. Pull it in like
Back
that.
of the head,
Headbutt.
headbutt,
I
boom,
tell women all
out
the
like a
time, you know,
fucking light. All right. You know what? You're going to sleep. All right, sing
don't
him a
just
fairy
kick 'em.
tale.
No, you take your thumbs,
Uh-oh.
you stick it in their eye socket.
Oh,
and you
no.
rip that eyeball out,
Ah,
not to win a fight,
no,
to get away.
to get away.
You never
Look.
rip eyeballs out to win a fight.
Never.
Only to get away.
Never. That's what Sensei taught me, bitches. All right. You do this stuff. You use this, and this knowledge comes with a cost, right? With great knowledge comes great responsibility. You rip out eyeballs. I'm talking clean technique where the membrane comes out clean. Sage, what you need to know is the cost is you only do it to get away. You fight so you don't have to fight. And it sounds like Sean Hannity has never been in an actual fight. Let's go.
Look at her face.
She is like, bruh.
She's like, how am I going to?
Play
All right,
this off.
we're gonna go with
Okay,
this.
We're gonna roll with it.
All right, Sensei Hannity.
Sensei Hannity.
I don't want. I tell you don't have to win a fight. If you got a guy and you stick your thumbs in those eyes.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing.
Uh-huh.
And my sensei will says this to people that he trains too.
Sensei.
If you're a Christian, you believe in Jesus.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If somebody's ever trying to put you in a car,
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
This happens like every other
Die.
day. Tell me.
right there,
Okay.
go see Jesus that day.
Yes, sir.
Fight to the bitter, and you get in that car. 99% of the
It's over.
time, you are not coming home.
It's over.
Take your thumbs.
Wait, hold on.
stick
Coming home in a box. That's why you're coming home. Sean Hannity taught me that his sensei, Ira, taught him you use the eye gouge techniques or you're coming home in a box.
He really loves this eye gouging technique.
Because it sounds authoritative. He's like, I'm not kidding. It sounds violent. But ladies, I've saved a lot of ladies giving them lessons. He says he gives lessons. It's like, bro, you don't know what you're doing. This guy thinks he's tough. And he admits low key throughout the interview he's never been in a fight. Let's keep going. This is Dwight Keith Schrute. Kurt Schrute, sorry.
Look at his, like he is, I have never seen him more animated.
He's into this. The only other time I've seen him almost this animated is when a faithful Roman Catholic priest in March of 2007 told him he's not allowed to use contraception. Also, he said his new concubine, his adulterous second union, Ainsley Earhart, he calls her Ainsley across America, wah, wah, you know, she taught him he's not allowed to say GD. But he's a really knowledgeable Roman Catholic, 12 years of Catholic school. All right, let's keep going.
Get in their eyes and rip the eyeballs out of their head.
Okay, pause. I'm talking not I'm talking clean technique, right? You get the eyeballs in, you want like a 35-degree angle, so your thumb should make a V, and you go like this. And they should come out, the eyeball should enter into the orbit of Mars, or if you're lucky, Venus. But it's very technical. You got to use the clean technique that Sensei Ira taught Sean. This is the best like double gold comedy I've ever seen in my life. And look at Sage Steele. She's like, snap, nigga. All right, let's go.
I can't believe this moment hasn't been viral.
How is this not viral? Sean Hannity, man.
He's already talked it like 3 times about gouging somebody's eyeballs out. Okay, here we go.
Have you ever done that?
I haven't had to.
Have you karate chopped?
I put one little move on somebody very aggressive once.
Have you ear clapped?
She's mocking.
Just I train and we do it. I train 4 or 5 days
when you're
a week.
back in New York, it's not happening here. Have you had butted? Like,
No,
have you had a real fight?
I had to kind of hit somebody once, but it was quick and it was over. And then I like picked them up and I'm like, I told you.
I told you.
Don't make me hit you.
Okay, pause.
You know?
So look, dude, the thing we say, clean technique, home for dinner. All right. Like those are the only rules we live by on the streets of New York. Did he actually grow up like on the streets of New York? I don't think so. Cause he's never been in a fight and she's clowning him. I don't care who you are. She does seem to, I don't know why, admire Sean Hannity. And that's evident in the beginning and the end parts of the interview. So maybe she's not willingly clowning him, but she is like shining this dude on. And she's like, oh, have you earboxed? Have you headbutted? Have you karate chopped? That's a girl goofing off, man. She's goofing on him. And
like, have you done any of the things that you've just instructed me to do as a woman?
Yeah, exactly. You just instructed me to write a check that my ass can't cash. Have you ever written and cashed out that check, Sean? He's like, well, one time, I got in a pretty heated dispute with a fast food service gentleman, and it nearly came to blows over those medium fries served as large. Let me tell you. All right.
When was
you
that?
do other things. Most people can't throw a punch.
No.
How do you throw a punch? Show me.
Because they're beginners, Sean. They're not like you.
You can't. She can't
No,
punch.
because I have long arms, and it just takes a while to get
long
there.
Arms.
By the time I get there, they will have,
But the
gone
problem
to the
is,
bathroom
the
and have.
punch should be straight like that.
Oh,
Oh no, that's what I do to you.
hold on.
Right?
They might have had. Did you see the speed of? This is the Michael Scott fights Dwight Schrute episode in season 2 of The Office. I mean, boom, that's too fast.
It reminds me of, like, I've been in this position. I've been in the Sage Still position so many times when I've gone to like a 3-year-old's birthday party.
Yeah.
And the 3-year-old one, particularly 3-year-old boys,
Yeah.
want to tell me all about their karate chopping.
Yeah.
And I've had to sit there and pretend to be interested and fascinated
And impressed.
and impressed.
And like you act like credulous. like you actually believe this line of manure. You know what I mean? Like he's like, yeah, like it's all, you know, some guy that's never seen a real situation, whether you're talking fighting or like talking about being with women or you know, debate. You get all kinds of goofs on the internet saying, oh, here's what I would do if I were you in this very public debate. They're always perfectionists. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's why I was goofing about, like, okay, you want to get the eyes at the 35-degree angle. You call the eye gouge V. You want to pop it out. It's like, dude, that's not how it works. Like Mike Tyson, who got in a fight a day, 3 fights a day growing up, and was the baddest mofo on the planet for like a decade. More is like everybody thinks they have a plan until you know the rest, how it works out. Very famous quote, right? Everyone thinks they have a plan until they get punched in the mouth. That's so true. You don't have time to be. It's funny because he's pointing out how girls will say you kick a guy in the groin, and he's like, you don't have the time or the precision for that, sweetheart. Look, that's Sensei and Ira and I will sometimes just sit back and have a laugh at the neophytes and the ladies to the fight world who think you have the time and the precision to get a groin kick in. No, what you do, young Padawan, is you get the thumbs firmly planted in the eyes. Like, you can't do that, man. People don't let you get near their face. So I'll just stop ruining it. It's like 3 more. He goes on for several minutes. This guy proselytizes on and on.
Every time I pause, it's an amazing screenshot worthy of like the Smithsonian. Look at this. This was
he's gonna get finger guns. He's gonna show her precisely how he would absolutely with 100% certitude get out of being held up at gunpoint to the back, to the head, to the side. Hannity's got it worked out. Okay.
Like, very good. Or if I parry it away, you can do. I teach people, like younger people, because most people
hammer fist
hurt the average person's wrist.
Right.
Yeah. She's shining.
Really, if you teach a young person how to throw a hammer punch,
you do.
Like if I do an eye poke, ear buck,
right? Ow!
I'll rip it right off its hinge.
Okay, you just got your jaw ripped off by Sean Hannity. Okay, you think you can talk smack about Hannity and Combs or Fox News with your right jaw ripped off? No way, compadre. Sean Hannity just ripped your jaw off with his moves that are battle tested. Well, they're not battle tested, but in his imagination, these moves work. Okay. Him, Dwight Schrute, Michael Scott, the world's toughest men. Those are like the toughest 3 guys, not just in their imagination. Well, in their imaginations, but maybe those imaginings could be real.
But I train for that every day. So, like, for example, we
put in the work.
Put a firearm, like, act like you're pointing a firearm in front of me. Okay, yes, boom.
Oh,
I train to do that every day.
Holy shit,
I just
Sean.
broke your finger.
Dude, the finger's broken.
Strip the gun.
Gun
strip. Move fast enough.
And
I will
pointed
then
at
step
him.
back.
Okay, you step
Tap
back.
it.
Tap
racket.
it. Racket.
4/3.
4/3.
What?
I don't know what that means.
Like
Okay, did you think when you pulled a gun on Sean fucking Hannity that you're gonna have a broken finger? Okay, keep these things. He's gonna jab you in the sternum with his gun. Number 2. You didn't see that coming, did you? Silly. And then number 3, he's gonna tap it, rack it, 4/3. 4/3, bitches. Okay. Sorry, the language is all colorful today, but it's just so funny. Okay, now he's gonna teach you how to get out of other assortments of gunpoint situations in his imagination.
And he has been through 12 years of Catholic school.
He has.
So he knows everything. So we really need to listen to this discourse on how to get out of gunplay.
This is serious. Okay.
Okay. I'll go up,
Boom.
break your finger. I'm not trying to hurt her.
Did you hear the pop?
He can't even help it.
It's
This
not a
guy's so
pop,
bad
it's
to
a
the
crack.
bone.
Your knuckle crack.
Crack.
Right.
Okay, what can I do again?
You go like
He can't even
up,
help it. Boom.
back,
Back.
jam you with it, strip it,
Ah.
step back, tap it, rack
That's
it.
like
fold
2
it.
seconds.
Dude,
Right.
She's
That's
mocking him.
Put it
She's
in my
shining
back.
him on here.
You know,
Okay.
first thing is
Gunpoint number
I'll
3.
come like this.
Oh.
I'll come in with an elbow. You said you had long arms.
They're like,
Okay, if you throw, first you're going to throw a punch throw
like
straight,
setting up.
but
not like a
an uppercut's great, but this is better.
oh my gosh.
You know, if you come down like that around somebody, it's over. It's done.
Well, because this is weak. This.
But this is
Wait,
good.
can we
But most
pause?
people-
She's clearly funning him, right? She's clowning this guy, and she's like, buh, 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 upper. She didn't even say uppercut. And then he's like, uppercut. Well, I like that proposition. She's like, I'm a girl, dude. I don't know what an uppercut is versus a hook versus a cross or versus a jab. I don't know. But he's like, no. Let's play this little scenario out, Sage. You come at me with an uppercut. Well, how tall are you? And with how much force did you throw your punch? She's like, dude, I was joking. He's like, how about, let me counteroffer. Elbow to the face. Deadly. All right. We're having fun on a Monday afternoon.
Oh, I had to look at my fingers.
Look at
They're
that
all
tough
broken.
guy.
I feel like you've been in a lot of fights.
No,
Not one.
No, never. Just in my well, yeah, I've been in like, I'd say 26, but they're all in my imagination. And I was pretty much lying about everything else.
And I won 23 of them.
In your wildest fantasy, you were a street fighter who was accosted by firearms multiple times, and you have a 23-3 record running a bed and breakfast with Satan. He's like, yes. All right.
I hit the heavy bag barefisted.
Damn, dude.
Is that like,
Oh yeah,
you
I've broken every finger.
He's even doing the Michael Scott. Michael Scott
it's
does
too
this
ugly.
when he's
no,
being
it's
tough.
really impressive.
It's really
He's
impressive.
shocking.
I think it's impressive.
But
It looks like an
when you
NFL
hit-
player's.
you want to hit with your knuckle
Okay.
Damn.
like that. But you should practice. Like go to a gym and
But now I got a man.
is he
gonna
with you all the
protect me.
time?
Pretty much.
Is that what you?
I
a
feel like
fighting
we're losing
machine?
some of the funniness. He's like, you gotta practice.
You know he
You know-
served in Iraq. You know he's
Yeah,
been to war.
I do.
She's
So I
like,
feel
he's actually
very
tough, right?
Safe. And by the way,
Yeah.
You know, this other gentleman in the room is probably dying inside. If he actually went to Iraq, like Sean Hannity's sitting there.
Sharing his Krav Maga secrets from Ira, Sensei Ira. And he's like, oh, I'm not a martial artist and I've never been in a street fight, but let me take, 6-7 minutes out of a reasonably short interview to teach a bunch of shit that doesn't work and that I don't really know in the first place. Okay, Sean.
I would love to have heard their conversation, Shade Steele and her husband's conversation, like out of his presence about this segment.
If her husband's a cool guy, which...
Oh,
Because
you can tell she's like, oh my goodness. Like she's,
no, but the rest of the time she seems like she actually admires him, which who in their right mind admires Sean Hannity? Okay. Is this most of the way
I'm
through
5'11",
this?
almost 6 foot,
Yeah.
with hair probably 6'1", depends on the day.
Mhm.
There
That's
is
racist.
something about being with a man who's 6'4".
It means a lot.
For someone like me, and I have a father. My dad. I have five. My dad
Means a
was 6'7". He's now about 6'3". My brother Chad is almost 6'8", and my brother's almost 6'8". Another brother's 6'5". So I come from
The hilarious part
protected.
about this is so she's from a family of large athletic men. Her brother and father were athletes. So they actually might be kind of tough guys. Right. I mean, it's not automatic. If you're 6'7", you could be 7'3" and built like Sean Bradley, but there's a better than average chance that she's actually been around guys that have been in fights. And then she's got this boomer dork. It's like, hey, do not make me Hughes these. It's like, bro, it's too rich, man. It's too much pleasure. I was like just giggling in the car like a schoolgirl, and then I saw people in the parking lot at the grocery store like looking at me because I'm always taking screenshots and marking out funny stuff that's happening when I'm doing these interview recaps or whatever. So I guess we'll stop there and then kind of take it back to the top. For starters, let's go to
I have 2130 queued up.
Oh, you got 2130. But
Yeah.
but I mean, to begin it, can we go to Twitter, Steffi?
Sure. Which one?
Well, I did on Twitter because he's going to get into why he left the church. He's going to tell tons of stories about his concubine, his adulterous second union. Sage Steele, I was disappointed to hear. I kind of thought she seemed nice. She's Catholic. I didn't know that before this interview. She also is divorced and remarried. And so let's play this priest telling Sean Hannity. This is in March of 2007. Because remember, Sean Hannity is like a theologian level of knowledge. And he knows it all. 12 years of Catholic school, like every boomer you've ever met says. But he didn't know that the number one violation of the married vocation is contraception. It's worse to the bonum commune than even abortion. And listen, he's being called out by this priest who says you can't contracept.
Would Hannity be welcome at your church?
Just be happy I'm not calling you a devil like the other guy.
Would Hannity be welcome at your church, Father?
Well, if he renounced his belief in birth control,
Wait a minute, would you deny me communion?
Thanks, Father.
I would.
Thanks, Father.
Wow. Interesting.
Thank you, Father. I mean, boy, good. The funny thing is, he's saying, "Oh, I've decried the liberalness of Catholic Church all the time," and it's like, well, the liberal molester, free the groin priests out there are the ones that would say, yeah, use contraception, get a divorce, get remarried. It's the ones that actually follow the teachings of Jesus in 2 of the Gospels. If you divorce your wife and marry another, you commit adultery. Those ones are the ones that sound like the priest that you're giving such a hard time to. Giving a hard time because, as Sean Hannity told us in the fight segment of the show, which is like 2/3 of it or something, he says he doesn't take shit from anyone. And he also has some sage advice for young ladies, but we're not going to get to that right away. First, I want you to hear... here's another thing that priest told him. That same priest told him this. And this is a good part of the interview. I don't think you have it yet, but... And of course, we've got internet issues. Judge not, lest ye shall be judged. He thinks that's deep.
Let me just say, you don't really, you call me a hypocrite. You question the depth of my faith.
Same
Do you know
interview.
anything about me and my religious beliefs and my background in religion? Do you know anything about me?
I only see the evidence, Sean. I see the evidence of a superficial presentation of one aspect of the faith.
Bam.
Superficial. Judge not lest you be judged, Reverend. Maybe you ought to spend a little bit more time on the fact that
You're a
our
public
church
official.
covered up one of the
You're a public person.
Excuse me, that covered up one of the worst sex scandals, and I wasn't involved in it. And the fact that
Well, you are now.
willing to still be Catholic is something you ought to be applauding, considering the level of corruption at the highest levels of the church, which was frankly embarrassing.
Bear in mind, so this interview took place a few years before he left the church. What Father, what's his name? He's got a hard to pronounce German last name. What Father's telling him here is, look, I don't need to know your particular religious set of beliefs. You're Roman Catholic, one Holy Catholic Apostolic. That means we all believe the same thing, Sean Hannity. We all believe the same thing. Only modernists and apostates and Protestants, Hannity, all believe that we have differing religious views. My religious views are the same as the religious views of St. Ambrose or St. Justin Martyr or St. Augustine or Irenaeus or St. Thomas Aquinas or Bonaventure. Through the centuries, language to language, starting in Latin, and only an idiot, only adult thinks that you as a Catholic can have differing views or that you could match the Catholic Church and contradict what they teach. You moron. And you watch the rest of the interview and you're like, I kind of feel bad for Hannity. But the funny thing is here, and I'm not even saying that ironically, you literally start feeling bad for him as he's Dwight Schruting his way through how to, technique number 126 for how to rip a man's head off with your bare hands. Practice on chickens, Jimmy. I mean, like, okay, he's just a dork, and a prettier girl came along, and dorks never got attention from girls, and they married the first girl that gave him attention, and he was married for like 26 years. Then a pretty girl comes along, and now suddenly he's important. He's not just a wall banger, as Michael Savage used to call him, just some construction guy. Now he's important, and he's powerful at Fox News, and he can get this, and he just changed it out. But all along, the priest here is telling him, if you're not Catholic now, you never were. If you're not with us on all the details, what he thinks are minor details, contraception, divorce and remarriage, IVF. Oh, yes, there's an IVF section in this cringe interview between Sage Steele and Hannity. Then you're not Catholic. And I would deny you communion. And look, and Sean's saying, no, you ought to be thankful that I'm still Catholic. I'm a good Catholic. I studied at a seminary in grade school. It's like, okay, that's not the same thing. Some seminaries have attached grade schools. That doesn't mean you are a seminarian. He's like, I studied in Latin. He doesn't know anything. You get to the part where he's talking about the Eucharist. He's like, oh, I love the bready goodness. Breadily goodness. And the priest is just like, dude, if you're not Catholic now and you're not Catholic all the way, then you never were. And I would deny you communion.
I'm just asking you for basic honesty. If you're a member of this church, you profess what the church believes. If you don't,
thank you,
Father. Don't say
you want to excommunicate me? Do you know that I went to a seminary? Do you know that I studied Latin? Do you know that I studied theology? Do you know anything about my background? Anything at all, sir?
It's not a.
This is a bit smug, a little uppity from the guy who tells Sage Steele that he didn't know you couldn't say GD, or you couldn't contracept, or you couldn't divorce your wife. Kind of well-known stuff about Roman Catholic moral theology, until his new concubine, the little newsy floozy Ainsley Earhart, who also divorced her husband and married Sean Hannity for her part. She had to teach him that. And she had to leave being, I think she was Anglican or something. And she didn't know until she got to a Baptist church, which is really well known for, it goes all the way back, all those decades to like the 16s or 1700s. That's old. That's older than like Major League Baseball by a little bit, right? And they're also known for their intellectual tradition, like all those amazing scholastic medieval schoolmen, the theologians, like, well, there aren't any, but the point is, he's telling this priest, like, he knows all this theology, and he thinks because he went to a seminary school that he was a seminarian, and he's speaking Latin. No way. You'll hear some of the stuff he says otherwise. And the priest is like, look, bro, I don't care about this. I've heard about you and you shining people on with your cap. All right. I've heard about your street fights, Sean. So I'm sure you're about as much a Latin speaker as you are a street fighter. And you didn't know you can't say GD. So that's not really relevant. The point is, whether you knew it or you didn't know it, you know now, you can't contracept, you can't divorce your wife and marry another, you can't IVF, which the average IVF carries about 6 abortions per IVF. You're murdering babies.
Sean,
It's not. Also, I'm not a good enough Catholic for you. I'm not a good enough Christian for you.
no, that's not.
No.
That's not the
Judge
point.
not lest you be
What is
judged,
it?
Father. You know what
On church
The
issues.
book says that.
Well,
That's a
okay,
good
but
line.
the point of the matter is that you're a person in the public. If you're in the public, you're going to be criticized for your public views. Okay, you express them, and I have the right
You
to criticize them,
specifically took
especially if
issue
you're
with my
professing to be
position
Catholic.
on birth control.
Yes.
One of the differences. Let me just say. You don't really,
So he's, you know, he explained it when he's explaining in the street fighting segment. Hey, buddy, would you fill this with fridge water, please, homeboy? He explained in the lengthy street fighting segment what his world view is, what his personal Hannity philosophy is. Don't take no shit from anybody, right? And so he's not going to take it off of this priest.
One of the biggest mistakes parents
make is they want to be liked and they
All
want
right.
to be their kids' friend.
So anyway, so this is the backdrop to the interview between basically two Emperor's New Clothes Catholics, between two Catholics who were married for something nearing 50 years, two former spouses between them. Hannity was married like 26 years. Sage Steele was married like 20 or 21 years. Got divorces, got a concubine, what in Catholic moral theology is called an adulterous second union. Not listen. Jesus says it very direct in the Bible. I guess Ainsley wasn't able to give him a segment on that. In two of the scriptures, if you divorce your wife and marry another, you're committing adultery. And obviously, both of them, you can hear in these early parts of the interview, were contracepting the way they talk about, you want more kids? No, I think it's best to not. I tell my kids, don't give me any grandkids. This is the literal Hannity line from the interview. Don't give me any grandkids. So obviously they're endorsing contraception. Hannity, at one point, you're going to hear him recommend IVF to Sage Steele. Divorce and remarriage, all the groin stuff is why he left the faith. And she says, get this, she's struggling with certain aspects of the faith as well. Thank you, buddy. You'll never guess. The tough parts of the faith make people realize that they might need to leave the faith or accidental aspects of the faith that have really nothing to do with them, like because some priest molested some boy in some diocese far away. That just happens to coincidentally make them realize. So this is the first part. I don't know if I didn't. Steffi, you'll run these from here, but they're talking about. He's giving her advice on how to raise kids, and you just hear his overwhelming boomerishness here. So we'll have video with the rest of these, but this one.
One of the biggest mistakes parents make is they want to be liked and they want to be their kids' friend.
When they're too young.
Yeah. Now I can say my son's 27, my daughter's 24. Now we can be friends.
Aren't you? Are you friends with them?
Very close. Very close. I love them with all my heart. I don't want to give them anything.
What do you mean?
I think God created everybody to serve. I go through this whole lecture with them. Number first rule is don't make me a grandfather. I don't want. One of the biggest mistakes.
Right after he said, what was your line, Steph? We were doing our walk earlier, listening to this. Right after he says, everyone's made to serve. He says, don't make me a grandfather.
And I don't want to give you anything. He's King Boomer.
He's
like every Boomer cliche. Pull yourself up by your bootstrap.
Yeah, every
and you gotta work hard for whatever you get. It's like, really? You have how many cajillion dollars? You have two kids.
Two kids. Not from Ainsley Across America. He was doing Ainsley Across America before he realized he was in love with her. And oh man, this is funny. Let's see this. I said, I'm halfway through the Sage Steele interview of Hannity, and they're both ghastly. This is early. This is before I found something to laugh and have fun with. Both feminist prosperity gospel Catholics married to their spouses for 20 years prior to their adulterous second unions attack Roman Catholicism. I said nonstop. It was kind of intermittent. Both support contraception, IVF, the average abortions per IVF being 6. It's pretty pathetic. Just reading what my thoughts were as I went through this. I already read you the clip. In March 2007, Sean Hannity had a televised confrontation with Father Thomas Udenauer, president of Human Life International, after the priest publicly criticized Hannity for supporting contraception despite identifying as a Roman Catholic. Okay.
The fact that he was shocked by that he is a self-professed Catholic and people knew that, because all of us kind of grew up watching Sean Hannity, those of us who've had conservative parents who always had Fox News on. He would talk about his Catholic faith, and then to come out and say that you're pro-contraception and then be surprised that a priest corrected him, and then the only retort he has is, I went through 12 years of Catholic school. It's like, bro, I'm sorry, but
He's King Boomer.
he's King Boomer, and and a lot of us already know this, but most of the ignoramuses, the most ignorant people in our church say they went through 12 years of Catholic school because what they think they got was a good Catholic education back in the 70s. They did not, and they thought that it starts and ends there.
Right.
He didn't seem to think that he's like, I studied Catholic theology, like in Catholic, like in high school.
You're like a coloring
You
book
realize
religion class where they're teaching you God is love and having you read the Da Vinci Code or whatever. That's the 90s version. He had the 1970 version, and it's just pathetic. But I do want to address this quote. You can get back to what you're saying in a second, Steffi, because your King Boomer remarks were hilarious. But the most recent quote I just played about I'm not friends with my kid. Steph has this in her book. I wanted you to comment. I talk about it in Catholic Republic. Aristotle teaches and the church accepts that a son's best friend is his father. So the idea of friends always have to be peers is rejected by Aristotle and St. Thomas. There are friendships between unequals, and these are usually the closest types of friendships. Stingy, wasp, boomer Hannity teaches his kids, I'm not your friend. If you're not your friend, that means you're not a lover of their soul. That's all a friend is a great lover of your soul. Kids only dislike their parents. I know it's the norm in wasp boomer households to say teenagers dislike their parents. They only dislike their parents because of a contraceptive mindset on behalf of the parents. Contraception, where you're blocking love. You're blocking the transmission of love. In reality, that's what contraception is. Contraceptive mindset that these wasps like Hannity have withhold love, make an enemy or at least a nuisance of children, right? Think about the message you're sending your kid that was the sperm that made it past the goalie. When you're like, oh, we contracept. It means you're a nuisance, kid. Stay out of here. You're going to hear Sage Steele saying she doesn't want her mixed children from her previous marriage or her new husband's kids from marriage going on vacation with them. You're a nuisance. And you curse your generation when you're a wasp boomer like this and you only have 1.8 kids per household. You don't make me a grandfather. He's literally going to say this in a second. Right after saying we are made to serve, he says, don't make me a grandfather. It's unbelievable. Was that, sorry if I didn't mean to cut you off, Steffi. Did you?
No, it was just, it's just, the guy he's so dull. And he's dense. And he literally contradicts himself after everything he says. He's like, yeah, people are here to serve. I don't want to give my kids anything. And don't give me grandkids. It's like, this is so gross. You have 2 kids. It's nothing he says makes me think that this guy was actually trained in the faith. Not to mention that the Catholic faith, it's such an insult because the Catholic faith has a rich tradition of really difficult texts and philosophers and church fathers and things like that adult men, if they really dive into it, takes them their whole life to understand some of these things. Like you were talking about, like some of the stuff from Aquinas, and it's just, this is so silly that he thinks that he knows the faith well when he clearly doesn't, because everything out of his mouth is a contradiction of the faith. But he doesn't even know how deep the intellectualism goes with the Catholic faith, and it makes me sad for him.
He doesn't know what he doesn't know. It is so much vaster than he assumes it is. And of course, he's Sean Hannity. He's a moron. Everyone knows he's the wall banger. He's a construction guy that turned into a commentator. I mean, like, I'm not trying to sound like an elitist here, but that's not, unless he's got native level IQ, that's not really the kind of person that should be giving serious advice on the faith, least ways. And he doesn't even know what he doesn't know. You're going to hear him at 21, 30 seconds. He's going to be talking about vacations with a mixed family, and like Sage and Sean don't even understand, because it's Emperor's New Clothes. When you get 2 deep sinners with a shared favorite vice like adultery, they're both adulterers, right? They're both divorced and remarried. just taking Jesus sola scriptura for a moment at his word, Matthew's gospel, and is it in Mark's gospel? Or no, is it Luke? Is Matthew and Luke? You divorce your wife and you marry another, you're committing adultery. Evidently, that part of Bible study, which was the first kind of dates that Sean and Ainsley Earhart went on, allegedly, they didn't cover that part. The fact that divorce and remarriage is adultery. So vacations with a mixed fam, Sean shifts to sounding less like the boomer here in this clip, and Sage starts sounding far more hard-hearted, though.
Pretty good. We went to another country. We took them. We went to Costa
Vacation
Rica.
with the
And
mixed
it was
fam.
cool. It was cool. It was cool. It was memorable for sure. But it was like, I mean, this whole thing happened. Forget it. This is not about me. Point being, he's really good at this. Okay, I'm going to segue. I'm going to segue to something because you mentioned this earlier. This is a
Wait, can
terrible
I ask
segue.
another question about this?
You have 5 seconds.
They're having
Do
too
you guys
much
ever
fun.
fight?
Argue. We argue.
Argue. Like, what do you argue over?
Well,
Oh, yeah,
Where's
this
my
is just
wine?
kind of
Can I-
bizarre.
we argue.
At 22:40 now, I stopped doing clips because my phone's on the fritz. At 22:40, it's not, you don't have to jump too far ahead, Steffi. She says, boy, I have some questions for Ainsley. You know, like, when did you know Sean was the one for you? But the two for you. You know? How do you, these divorced and remarrieds are they're a plague on the earth.
They always use really gross language that I even think that like teenage girls use that I find really off-putting, like my soulmate and the one. And like they always use like really weird, gross language like that.
They say
These
soulmate.
are old people talking like this that are on like their second adulterous union.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so gross. Like,
How do you non-ironically say, how did you know that she was the one, Ainsley? The one ain't named Ainsley, for one thing. Sage, how did you know that your second husband was the one? You mean the number two? They're not the number one. Like, you can only say the one if you follow Jesus, if you're a Christian, and you get married but once. You can't say, oh, I knew so-and-so was the one, when it's like your second husband or wife. So let's play this part.
so this is at 42,
No, this is at
22, 42.
22:40.
Ainsley.
What
Oh, do I?
I'll tell you how
She
she
says, I have
answers. What
questions for
question would you ask her? What would you want to ask her?
I get really sappy.
What would you ask?
I would get really sappy and I'd say,
He's like, what?
when did you know Sean was the one? Because I do think that
We have not told our story. You know that. We've not really like told the whole story. The deep.
And the world has a sigh of relief.
You're gonna get more of it than you bargained for coming up.
Oh no,
girly.
Details of none of it. Because we're both very private. No, I'm not opening that door. I already told you enough about my incorrigible childhood.
He's a bad boy.
when did
He's
you
a
know
bad boy.
Ainsley was the one?
It's a great question. It's the strangest thing. I had a lot of issues for a lot of years. Kept
Meaning
it to
with his-
myself.
with his
I didn't
wife.
really share it. Very
His
few
real
people
wife.
knew. My sisters knew, my doctor knew, you know, like maybe two of my best friends, and I just kept it private. Oddly enough, I mean,
His doctor.
I was friends with her and her husband, and I used to get Rangers tickets and Billy Joel tickets and concert tickets, and we're all friends. And there was nothing, you know, nefarious ever. Never thought, because I really
Sure.
do believe in
Yeah.
my Christian
Okay.
faith and
Mhm.
all of that.
So hard. So
Long
hard.
story. And ends, and then it was just one day I just opened the door and confided to her.
That's beautiful.
In the middle of me telling the story, which I really had kept private for such a long time, I see her crying. And she, you know, and I looked up and I'm like, you know, and it just kind of, we became best friends.
Why was she crying?
Because she realized it was a lot.
She knew.
She had her
What?
own stuff going on, bro. That's the thing. She had her own stuff going on. And when Sean Hannity starts opening up, you got to understand, this is a street fighter from New York. He opens up, and then all of a sudden you realize you thought Sean Hannity was talking. And you're like, no, you know who was actually talking at the same time? My heart. My heart. That was my little Ainsley Earhart heart, skipping a beat and also speaking the same language, heart language, as what Sean Hannity was saying. And they realized that they were in love. And then they realized that the key to their love was Jesus. Even though Jesus taught that if you divorce your wife and marry another, you're an adulterer and going to hell. Forget about that. The main part is the Jesus part. If you forget about that whole thing,
It's
okay,
funny,
they bonded over Jesus.
He like totally fast forwarded. He was like, I am a serious Christian. Me and my friend Ainsley and her husband, nothing nefarious happened. Yada, yada, yada. I am marrying Ainsley Earhart. It's like, wait, what?
Yada, yada, yada. I love her. And yes, she's another man's wife. But here's the thing. I can find enough divorcee interviewers like you, Sage, to not make me feel guilty about reality and the brute facts that I am pretending to be married to another man's wife. Because Sage is another man's wife pretending to be married to some new guy. And the thing is, with you divorcees, you guys, you're like trans. Divorcees are like trans people. You know why? Because they want you dead or in their lie. And it's Emperor's New Clothes, right? Here's the lie. Here's my wife. My wife's Ainsley. We have a touching story. We're going to tug at your heartstrings. She's the one for me, even though she's actually my second wife and not actually my wife at all. She's the one. And then everybody in the room is like, oh, bullshit, dude. Can you shut the fuck up? Can divorcees all just shut the fuck up? Because when you're talking, it's like talking to a tranny, but at least trannies kind of know they're crazy. They know they're crazy. Divorcees, on the other hand, are the foxes running the hen house. And there's so many of them in the boomer and even Gen X generations that they got a head of steam. They're feeling their oats. They think that, you know, you, the little kid that's like the emperor doesn't have clothes on, you aren't married to Ainsley Earhart, bro. You're married to the wife, you know, your less good looking wife before, who you were having problems with. That's your wife. Ainsley Earhart's not your wife. And same thing with Sage Steele. But Sage Steele's interviewing him. And so they're just talking about, man, I'm going to tug at your heartstrings. Man, we're going to get sappy. You want to get sappy? Why don't you share a nice story about how you fell in love with your real husband, Sage? You want to get sappy? Ask Sean about what made him fall in love with his wife, meaning his real wife in God's eyes. What's something nice about her? Oh, you talk to divorcees, there's nothing good about him. There's nothing good about my old ex-spouse. I want to talk about my new spouse. That's not a spouse. And they want you dead or in their life. They're just like trans, right? And if you're like, oh, sorry, but I'm not going to call you a remarried guy because there's no such thing as remarried. I'm not going to call you a woman. Then the things come out and it's ma'am, right? Ainsley Earhart is Ainsley Hannity, punk. No, she's not. She's Earhart's wife. She probably didn't even take Earhart's name or whatever. But you get the point. Divorcees are trans. And they threaten to fight you if you're just like, sorry, my command of English is fine. I'm not going to change my use of pronouns. I'm not going to change my use of surnames, right? This is your wife.
And Hannity gave the "it's ma'am" to the church, right? He's like, no. Yep. You won't acknowledge that I want to marry a younger, blonder, fitter woman than the one that I had before. Mm-hmm. Then I'm just going to King Henry VIII this. Yep. You know what I mean? It's like the King Henry VIII wanted to like make it with all the mids in the county. And the church was like, no, sir, you will not do that. And he's like, okay, that's it. I'm starting my own thing.
I'm outie.
It's so childish.
Yeah.
It's absolutely petulant childish.
It is. And you can't get sappy with false sentimentality either. You can't, so when Sage is like, oh, I want to have a moment getting sappy. It's like, okay, well, I knew my wife when I was 20 and she was 18, my real wife. my actual wife.
Me, number one.
Yeah, you. Number one. My first wife, Steph Gordon, and my last, you know, I'm not going to do it to you guys because I am a private person. People that say what private people they are, they're always dying to share their most private, innermost thoughts.
And how to take a man's eyeballs out.
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, what do we got next?
Okay, so you have I have 2820.
Yeah.
So what is this one?
This is so deep, and I want you guys all to understand how deep Ainsley across America is. She made Sean realize that the vacations he'd gone on were all work related. And he'd only ever treated himself to a pleasure vacation in Florida. And that's part of the great thing about Ainsley. It's so Ainsley. Let's listen. This part just shows what superficial, callow people these are we're dealing with.
I will tell you, one of the great gifts she's given me is, I remember she asked me one time, so have you ever traveled? Where have you traveled to? And I'm like, yeah, I have. I've been to really cool places. And it's like, where? Singapore, Vietnam, Helsinki, Iraq, Israel. And that was my list. That was my travel list. And she put it together. She goes, well, wait a minute. That's all work related. Every one of those trips that you're talking about.
She gets you, bro.
And
she just gets him.
Potential spam. There you go.
Potential what?
And
spam.
She goes, no, where did you travel for like fun? I'm like, well, I usually go to Florida for vacation. And I had a place on the West Coast of Florida. And she couldn't believe it. And then like she opened up this other horizon to me. And I don't have a lot of vacation time, but I take it. And I'm really glad I did it.
Wait, Ainsley she seems like a total bitch, by the way. She calls in and totally blows him off when he tries to get her to talk about stuff. Sean's a moron, but at least he seems a little bit nice. Ainsley just seems like a bitch. You notice how she laughed at, where do you like to go for fun? I mean, it's not like the guy's a cultural Philistine. You would expect his has visited list, his suitcase, to only have the stickers of like Wichita, Kansas or something like. But he's got 5 or 6 very foreign, kind of Middle East, bordering on Far East countries. That's pretty good for such a Philistine. But she laughed at him when he told her where he likes to go. Florida. You know the funny part? He moved from New York to Florida. He talks about how it's heaven and he loves it. So that's just him being him. And you get these snippets, these little insights into his life with this new bitch. And it's terrible. She laughed at him for, well, I like to go to Florida. Florida's a cool place to visit. I wouldn't want to live there. Colorful, lawless swamp, but it's a fun place to go visit.
And it sounds so like lack of life. You know what I mean? Like this is what she brought you, like vacations.
Totally.
Like it sounds like it totally sounds like mistress behavior.
Totally.
She's like, oh, where are we going? Like, what fantastic vacation are we going to?
Totally.
And then he's like, well, these are the places I've been to. And he's like, there's a wide world of other wonderful places to attend to. You know what I mean? It's like this isn't even a deep story. You know, this is just some broad that like found her meal ticket. And now she's like, okay, where have you gone to? And where are we going?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Poor guy.
You get me, Steph.
Yikes.
You get me, Steph.
You get me.
You get me like Ainsley gets Sean.
Classic
Sean
American
gets
love tale.
Yeah. So
is that the end of that clip?
Yeah, more or less. It just shows the superficiality that these people are operating at. And now, you get enough money. I don't hate people with money. A lot of good people have a lot of money, but you get enough money and you get insulated enough, and then and you keep your echo chamber identical worldviewed enough, and you're just going to sound superficial and not even call yourself out. So if you go to minute 31, this is Sage doing the group therapy with Sean that I was talking about. Like guilty consciences commiserating, except in reverse. Guilty consciences self-assuaging and self-rationalizing and rationalizing for the other. And she keeps saying, you know, I used to think like this too, Sean, like divorcees don't deserve a second love. You're both Catholics. Let me share something with you. Divorcees don't deserve a second love. You don't get one. I'm sorry you missed this part of the gospel. Sean Hannity, Sage Steele, you don't deserve a second love. If by love you mean spouse or concubine.
They'll always say too, like, Jesus would want me to be happy. It's like, no, he wants you to be holy.
Yeah.
Doesn't really care.
Jesus wants me getting my rocks off to the firmest little blonde. Now, I shouldn't even joke like that, but he doesn't. Okay. He wants you to go to heaven. All right. Let's just play it.
I've told you more than I've told anybody publicly.
Dude.
That means a lot to me. No, that means a lot to me. And I feel like I can identify with a lot of what you're saying too, which is why I am curious and why I wanted to dig deeper, because I'm nodding because I get it. And I've been there. Nothing exactly the same.
I'm nodding because I'm bored.
There. And there is something really difficult about when you've been through some stuff.
When what?
When you've been through some tough times.
Yeah.
And in a
generation gap there.
And
he's
then,
like, what?
What do we all do? Human nature is to protect
100%.
and to close off and to say, I'm not going to risk it again. And I didn't even do it consciously. And so what I didn't realize is that I was scared and closed off to receiving it again, because I knew it wasn't what I dreamt of before, obviously. And a couple of things in the middle, and you go, okay, maybe this just isn't for me. And then when it starts to come your way, you go, oh wait, that means I have to open up and risk it again. Were you?
Sorry, by a couple of things in the middle, does she mean dudes? Like, I don't know what that was there.
She means like love. She's like, I didn't know if I was going to receive it again. I was like, are we talking like getting it? Like sex?
What are we talking here?
Yeah.
Did you feel that too?
Yes. Okay, I'll give you another piece of the puzzle that worked for us.
Okay. I wanted that.
The relationship was not, I mean, obviously she's a stunningly beautiful woman, right? I mean, of course I would fall in love with that every day of the week. But it was really the deeper connection was we didn't go there, but we talked and we prayed. And I told her stuff like that I'd never told anybody.
Every single man who leaves his wife says exactly that.
Exact. It's like a send away kit. You're this lame ass middle-aged divorced guy. He's actually older than middle-aged, but a lame ass divorced guy. You send away for a kit and they return. They're like, okay, here you go. You start talking about parts of yourself you never knew, parts that are alive. You're really this stoic warrior who gouges out fucking eyeballs and shit. And you're this warrior in your imagination, though you've never been in a fight. And yet this beautiful, comely lass of virtue true got you to explore and plumb and excavate the depths of your soul. And also she teaches you. Boomers think it's sexy for men to learn shit from women. It's disgusting, especially like religious stuff. She taught me I can't say GD. This beautiful lady taught me that. And it's always the funny other thing about the send away kit that these lame ass divorcees are always full of, the rhetoric they're always full of. It's always, we prayed together. You know, look, this is emotionally magnificent. What does Michael Scott say?
This isn't emotionally, this isn't shallow. This is emotionally magnificent.
Yeah, it's when a guy's out ahead of his skis, dating above where you'd ever thought he would be able to date. And you should never date again because you were married. And yet he wants to still be a conservative Christian guy. He's like, look, the first thing, Ainsley, that we got to do, you know what? Pray to Jesus. See if this is okay with the big guy. And we're going to do that. And guess what? 100.0 times out of 100, Jesus always comes back with, is it okay if I just completely piss all over the gospel, which says that he who divorces his wife and marries another commits adultery? Jesus always comes back with like, bro, I want you to do you, man. You do you. Jesus never, it's shocking.
Amazing. That is incredible.
Jesus never comes back with, oh, hey, thanks for hitting me up. Thanks for DMing me. I got a message for you. Fuck off. Get back with your wife. Get back with your wife. You want to go to heaven, you still can. Get back with your wife, work through it, plumb the depths of your soul, share stuff with her that you never shared, get your fuzzies on. I want you to come up with 10 things that excited you about your real wife. Think about them, ruminate on them. This is proven. If you think about stuff that you like about someone, you're more fond of them. Get Ainsley off your mind. That's some other dude's hoe. And get back to thinking about your wife because you fell in love with her. More important than that, you took an oath. You involved me, the big cheese, and you have your one marriage. You only get to get your hand stamped once. You don't get to no out and back ins. Literally and figuratively, Sean. He's the bouncer saying no out and back ins. You can't do it. Sorry. For some reason, Jesus and Sean and Ainsley never go and send up this prayer, send this smoke up to heaven and come back with a no. It's always a rubber stamped yes. You ever notice that?
And it's funny too that he's trying to color their romance with so much like talk of the faith. And it's like, again, how he started off the story is where it should start and end. He was friends with her husband and her. End of story. It's like
friends with her husband, but not her. Like you shouldn't even be friends with her. That's how this came about. He's like, I didn't even notice how gorgeous I thought she was until the day I got divorced. It's like, okay, all right. Do you have any really high quality non-fraudulent snake oil you might be able to sell me? Or how about like a Wolverine that I could keep as a house pet and have it babysit my smallest children? What about like, I don't know. You sell me like a ketchup popsicle stick and I'll use it with my white gloves. Hey, how about any of that? Right? You got some rich ones. Try selling them to me, Sean.
Okay, should we continue on with this? Is that done? Let's see.
Wait. Let her go on. Because Sage goes on about like divorce. All these divorcees feel like they don't deserve a second love. You don't? Okay, we got to let her get to it.
That I kept in. And her reaction to my life was just, I was kind of surprised at her reaction because she just thinks I led a crazy life. And
she's a badass. That's why, dude.
I think I lived the greatest life ever, and it was so different than hers. And then I would hear her stories. I mean, she grew up wanting to be, she had a plan. I had no plan. My plan was, to pay my next rent payment. My plan was to survive, especially in those years in my early 20s. I had no money. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't have my parents to rely on. I literally dropped out of school because I ran out of money. And, she had Southern values, which I am way more of a Southerner than I am a New Yorker in any way, shape, manner, or form. And
all the way, bro.
We just had these incredible conversations that went hard and deep and held nothing back. And I felt like
no comment.
Really somebody for the first time actually knew me, understood me.
Oh my God.
Cared.
So beautiful.
And that's what did it.
Okay, I just want to stop you right there. You deserve that, right? Like you sound like you don't even believe that you deserve that. And you deserve that. You should get as many wives as you need to make,
I want Sean Hannity to have as many wives as he needs.
Yes, he needs. So, okay, we still have to get to Sage doing her group therapy as well, the group rationale.
Plus, this is, obviously, like everything he just said, again, this is what every guy who leaves his wife for like a cuter, younger blonde says.
Yeah.
To try to make it sound really deep and like, oh, you had great conversations. Oh, she knows parts of you that your wife could never know.
Oh, you did a Bible study. You just completely ripped out certain pages of the Bible, like Matthew chapter 19, verses 8 through 12. That's so deep. You did a Bible study. Matthew chapter Chapter 19, verse 8, Jesus replied, Moses permitted you to divorce your wives because your hearts were hard. He's talking to the Jews, who he's not a big fan of. Sean also doesn't know that. But it was not this way from the beginning. I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife, except for porneia, and marries another commits adultery. Now, in the second gospel, he says it without the exemption for porneia. The disciple said to him, if this is the situation between a husband and wife, it is better not to marry. And Jesus said, not everyone can accept this word, but only those to whom it has been given. Sean, we're going to get to this portion, but this is the key gospel right after the divorce and remarriage section, Steph.
Mhm.
I didn't realize these two passages were back to back until recently. He's talking about celibacy because Sean also goes, priests are supposed to marry. They married until the 12th century. That's not accurate. But for the fact that priests weren't entirely forbidden to marry in the first 9 centuries, look at this passage. Not everyone can accept this word, but only those to whom it has been given. This is a special grace given to priests to be celibate. But there are eunuchs who are born that way, and there are eunuchs who have been made eunuchs by others, and there are those who choose to live like eunuchs for the sake of the kingdom of heaven. You hear that, Sean? Evidently, you also excised verse 11. The one who can accept this should accept it. Jesus is talking about priests. I only realized this is on the back end of Matthew 19, 8 through 12 recently. I've seen that passage before, but isn't that remarkable?
Mm-hmm.
So Sean's going to list that as one of his pretextual reasons why he left the church, because priests aren't allowed to marry. He really meant because Sean's not allowed to marry a hotter chick. He's like, no, she's hotter, she's younger, she's nicer to me. I don't doubt that. I have every faith. This is what I tell every wannabe divorced remarried guy. I believe you. Your wife is probably uglier and meaner and fatter than the chick you want to get married to. Guess what? This one ain't yours. This one is. You have a prize sow on your hands, Enjoy. Yeah, I mean, that's why you got to be choosy when you're young. But no, I'm not. It's a half truth. Yes, the more comely, nicer, more charming one might be nicer to you and prettier to you. Doesn't mean she's yours. Okay, Sage.
It wasn't just the beauty, which is obvious. It
Yeah. Okay. All right.
was just deeper than that. And then
It's emotionally
she was
magnificent.
such a good Christian.
Oh, so good.
I mean,
good.
then we just started
She's
doing
so
a
good.
Bible study together, a real Bible study, not a bullshit Bible study.
Not a bullshit.
Not a bullshit.
I guess it's a bullshit Bible study in Sean Hannity's eyes if it doesn't have like perforated pages ripped out at Matthew chapter 19. And now he's a Protestant, so that makes a lot of sense anyway. So it's not a bullshit Bible study, but somehow it is.
Bible
I
study.
know.
Yeah, I know.
Interesting.
There's two things that I think. Ainsley's like, oh my word. She won't say, oh my God.
Oh, so holy.
She won't say,
Dude.
I had
she
a
says,
sign
oh my word.
I had a sign in my office that said, back in Connecticut, said, I love Jesus, but I cuss a little. And yeah.
So he didn't.
you got me to cuss.
He thinks she's amazing because she doesn't violate like a commandment that, I don't say GD either. I don't even say OMG, Sean. You must want to marry me too. I mean, yeah, that's great. Does your wife run around saying OMG and GD? Just tell her not to. You can't say that stuff. It's an automatic mortal sin. Like too many people do say OMG, but he sounds like he thinks it's extra. But I thought he was this whiz theologian, this crack theologian, and he doesn't know about like the first 3 commands. By the way, also excised in his Bible study was Luke chapter 16, verse 18. Jesus states, anyone who divorces his wife and marries another woman commits adultery, and the man who marries a divorced woman commits adultery.
Oops.
Oh, but it wasn't a bullshit Bible study, though.
Within 5 minutes, and it was awful. So I'm going to
Can you believe
repent
that
for that.
shit? She turned on.
That shit. So you know what the key word is? The key word is trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's
I
funny.
was
It's
gonna
like
say
I
that
could
too.
trust my friends, my coworkers, but who could I trust in that way? Where
Your husband.
I was.
Your real
I wasn't
husband.
afraid that if I was really honest, that they would run away.
But you
And-
guys have that. I saw that from the day I met you guys and saw you together. Remember, I kept saying, "Oh, how soon was it after you met? After we all met, did I say, when are you guys getting married?"
10 minutes, maybe.
Less, right? And then you went to the bathroom, and then I got my answer. It was awesome.
And then you started digging and asking a lot of questions.
Okay, so Sean wants credit here for calling that, because now he's an expert in it. He and Ainsley across America know what it's like to fall in love a second time with an adulterous second union. And now he can spot it. He can spot it fast. And he wants credit that he knew that Sage Steele and her adulterous second union would hear wedding bells soon. And what's really pathetic about this is it's group therapy. It's transsexuals in a room being like, can you believe it? You know, my mom thinks I'm a dude. And he's talking to a woman who thinks she's a man. And she's like, my mom thinks I'm a woman. They're crazy, right? It's like, can you believe it? Some of my Christian relatives told me that my spouse is still at home waiting for me, crying their eyes out. It's like, that's what it is. But they are doing group therapy, and they're mutual enablers, as are all remarried divorcees. So I just had to let you hear that. But I must have missed it at the beginning. Sage is going hard at, you deserve a second love based on the teachings of Jesus minus Matthew and Luke.
And Jesus.
Yeah. So, and Jesus. What time, Sig, are we at?
So we were still on that one.
34. Well, where are we?
We
Let's
can
see.
go to
Bible study with Ainsley.
We can go to 4130 if you want.
Okay. This is Ainsley. Oh, this is Sean. Okay. So this is right before he goes off on the ripping of the eyeballs and, you know, protecting yourself. But this is really Michael Scott also. He's like, you know, Ainsley has this little teaching for women, and it goes like this. You got to hear it. It's so deep.
The best thing Ainsley says to young women, says to women, know your worth.
Oh. Boom.
Oh.
Boom. Dude, is she a poet?
Mic drop.
That is so original and really deep. And it's not at all hackneyed, recycled feminist bullshit from the 1960s that is going bye-bye the way of the dodo. It's not that at all. And you guys don't sound like burnout, divorcee, apostate, old fucking boomers who at the end of your life soon, in a decade or so, are going to be, hopefully, I pray, hitting your knees and repenting of all of this feminist, pro-divorce, pro-contraception nonsense. That's not the case at all. What was I thinking? Okay, so know your worth, ladies. I just want to take a rules for retrogrades moment out here and say, know your worth. Being in the kitchen virtually all day long, that's your worth. Being in the home, making your home a happy, special place, that's your worth. Rules for retrogrades wants you to know that that is your worth. And it is, you're the heart of the home. Men are the head of the home. Women are the heart of the home. Men should know their worth. Women should know their worth. We shouldn't be transsexuals. Everybody go to www.realestateforlife.org, get out of your red state and get out of your blue state, get to a red state today. A pro-life, pro-Catholic person will help you to do so. I also want you to please like and subscribe this video. We're being extremely suppressed by YouTube. And if you want to support the channel beyond that, go to Rules for Retrogrades at Locals and support us at 5 or 10, or if you want a Parish Orphan Patron Pack sent to you, a $12 a month patron or more. Okay, let's get to, I wish we could do that tough guy section again at minute 42. Let's go to the marquee moment in this, that Hannity says at 49 minutes that he left Catholicism because why?
Because I'm Catholic too, and I've also struggled, and so I'm genuinely.
I went to Catholic school for 12 years.
Oh,
dude, I didn't know that you were a whiz. No boomers say that, and I'm sure you were taught so much. He literally says something like, "I love the Eucharist and all its like bready goodness, man." He said something very close to this
Mrs.
in a minute or two.
And,
Bears.
you know, I studied Latin. I studied theology. It was seminary in high school. It was actually academically a really good school. The moral
He's scholastically a scholar.
That I wouldn't have the moral foundation I had, but for the church, for all of that, I'm grateful. I think the Mass is beautiful. You know, communion, Last Supper, you know, do this in memory of me. You know, he took bread, he broke the bread, gave it to his disciples. Take this, eat this is my body.
Ladies and gentlemen, he went through 12 years of Catholic school.
Don't have to tell me, because I just heard the words of an angel, also a scholar, more like the angelic doctor, Thomas Aquinas himself. Step aside, schoolmen of the high Middle Ages. We've got Sean Hannity disquisitioning on the bready goodness of the Eucharist. I mean, you can't write this stuff.
To be fair to him, most people who go through 12 years of Catholic school don't even know that much. So
Nah, they know this stuff. I think they know about. I'm not just trying to quibble. They know about what he knows. Like, I mean, would you rewind it by 10 seconds? Listen, he's like, the bread, do this in memory of me. He's got the sandals. He's got some homeboys called disciples. You know, what do you want? I got it all. So, like, you know, you have the bread, you got the wine. Do you have a little bit of cheese in there? I don't even know. Maybe. like, I don't think he knows much. I don't like that, to be fair.
He broke the bread, gave it to his disciples. Take this, eat this is my body.
Again with the bread.
A cup of my blood. The everlasting cup. I believe all of that.
Oh, you believe all that shit, bro?
Very beautiful experience. Unfortunately, I did learn too much. And the first 1,200 years of the church, priests were allowed to marry. I don't know why they got rid of that. And I think then they reduced the pool of potential candidates. It got very hard when my kids were young, and you'd have somebody saying Mass and they couldn't understand 3 words the guy was saying and not able to relate to them.
Yeah.
I don't like how they handled their scandal.
Sure,
but putting that aside. And, you know.
So it has nothing to do with the fact that you wanted to divorce, remarry, and contracept. He's like, no, it has nothing to do with this throbbing urge to divorce, remarry, and contracept. It had more to do with like moral cosmic, ecumenical, abstract things, like, you know, priests were molesting people. And, you know, I was really pretty upset that priestly celibacy he thought it began in the 13th century. It actually didn't. There was enforcement by the different churches of priestly celibacy. In some parts of the church was really governed dioceses by the bishops and by the primates of the areas. So priestly celibacy goes all the way back to Jesus and the apostles. I just read you the passage in Matthew's gospel where priestly celibacy comes from, sola scriptura, right? But it was uneven until the First Lateran Council, which was 1123. And then it became completely uniform in the West. And Hannity probably doesn't understand, the Western-Eastern divide, but it's not accurate to say that the Council of Elvira in Spain around 306 AD, like before the First Ecumenical Council, I'm sure Hannity knows all about that, required bishops, priests, and deacons to abstain from sexual relations with their wives. So they had to live Josephite. Hannity didn't know that. You can't do Ainsley across America if you're a priest or a bishop if you happen to be married. Similar expectations appeared in other councils and writings of church fathers. So the first church laws on clerical continence appear in the early 300s. But, Sean said he studied a little too much to stay Catholic. The moron doesn't know that.
When I made comments about the Pope not having the moral clarity to understand that radical Islamists are evil because they'll strap bombs on their own children with a promise of 72 virgins in heaven.
Okay, boomer. Oh.
I mean, I don't even need to comment here.
Yeah, that's just he is king boomer.
He is king boomer with the Israel loving stuff.
Yeah, and like
what the church teaches about Judaism? Yeah, the church doesn't like Islam. It has nothing to do with this or that pope. The church doesn't like Islam. The church doesn't like Judaism either, guy. Hey, what?
And that their faith is teaching them that
Imagine being a young.
Oh, is that when Ainsley calls?
Ainsley calls pretty soon here. And you got to hear some of it. She's a real laugh riot. She's a hoot. He left Catholicism because of what? Because of priestly celibacy and because of Islam. That seems a little abstruse. Seems a little bit apposite with only very abstract things. Could it be that he had this throbbing urge to get a younger, prettier wife and the church doesn't allow that? I mean, at least King Henry VIII was honest about why he made up his new religion, right? Protestantism is a man-made religion that, according to the particular sect, dates 100, 200, 300, 400 years old because various things. They didn't like the Eucharist. They wanted priesthood of all believers, or because the king wanted to make it with all the mids in the county, to borrow Steph's turn of phrase. But at least the king, if we're talking about English Protestantism, at least the king admitted it. Like, I don't want to be Catholic because I want a newer, better chick, dude. I want a thinner chick. I want a tinier waist and bigger bust line. Want a ruddy cheek, or whatever George Costanza said. So that's more honest. But instead, Sean Hannity is a fundamentally dishonest guy. Big trait among a lot of these boomers, the boomer divorcees. I left Catholicism. It had nothing to do with the complete conflict between my lifestyle accoutrements and what I wanted to do, and the church's like rock hard teachings on moral theology for the married vocation. No contraception, no divorce. Even though I really wanted contraception and divorce, I didn't play you the part where he's suggesting that Sage goes and gets IVF. As they're both saying they're pro-life.
And surrogacy.
Surrogacy and IVF he mentions in two separate breaths. IVF kills on the average 6 or 7 babies.
So that's abortion. That's abortion of 6 or 7 babies.
It's abortion on steroids.
Yeah. That's what a lot of Catholics don't understand with IVF. That abortion is a major part of IVF. Yeah. Because these are fertilized eggs that are just being tossed out and killed. Okay. Are we still continuing on with this Ainsley call?
Now we can go to 5540, right? Is that
5540? Okay, let me do that. Sorry.
Now, sorry that you have to do this. Normally, I grab the clips. I do need a new phone, as Joe Enders will tell anybody. I do need a new phone out. It won't even grab screen grabs anymore.
You grew up Catholic, and I was the one who led him to Christ by the grace of God, not me. I'm not taking credit.
Right, but
you see Sage's face here?
Ainsley just said that she led him to Christ
because he grew up Catholic. Yeah, we can let it roll a little more. And Sage is like, I still am technically Catholic. I haven't left. I don't think Sage got an annulment, so I don't know what she's rolling with. I was checking records for public annulment. I don't think she got one either. It's hard when you've been married like 2 decades, like as long as Steph and I. It's a little bit hard to get that annulment, but usually you go to a liberal diocese, you still can. But look at Sage's faith. She's like, this bitch just said that I, Sage Steele, am a Roman Catholic and I don't have Jesus yet.
Just that time.
He asked me if I'm going to heaven. I said, it's up to God.
No, you're going to heaven. I said, because the Bible says, if you believe it in your heart and your mind, your soul, your spirit, you are going to heaven. Do you believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God?
I said, yes.
Yes. Do you believe you're going to heaven? And he said, I don't know. I don't know.
That's up to God.
It's so arrogant for me to think that I'm going to go to heaven. I mean, I'm a sinner. And I said, no, but that's what the Bible teaches us. Because I grew up in the Episcopal Church, which is a lot like the Catholic Church, where you're not really sure if you're going to heaven.
It's true.
Because you feel really arrogant saying that. Like, who am I to say I'm going to heaven? But if you go to the Baptist church or the non-denominational churches, they'll teach you, if you accept Jesus, then you're going to heaven.
Jesus.
Oh, I love it, Hayden.
Jesus.
By the way, why do like the dumbest girls say Jesus?
Jesus.
Like
I don't know.
No.
But Ainsley across America believes there's some epistemic component to faith. If you just say, I believe Jesus, you go to heaven. Faith without works is not dead. But scriptural quote, faith without works is dead. And St. Paul gives a long list with adulterers included in 2 epistles of the Bible, people that will be thrown into Gehenna. and adulterers are one of them. And guess what? Jesus told me, Ainsley, he told me that if you get married to one guy and then you start having sex with another guy and you call the second guy your husband, you're just like an adulterer and you go to hell. Sorry, Ainsley.
Hearing Ainsley talk and what Sean said earlier about their deep conversation and her beauty and everything wasn't the reason why they got together and he left his wife. Hearing her speak, I'm more convinced than ever that it was her beauty.
What Sean Hannity's sword sensei should have told him is something that all swordsmen know. Never be led around by the short sword. So let me be your sensei, Sean. You're being led around by, you let the big head do the thinking there, fella.
So cute. I love it.
You are adorable.
Out of control.
She just got a new backpack from Lululemon.
I hate it.
Stop, Mom. Can you say hi to Sage? This is my friend.
Okay, this is boring. Okay, so
I don't this makes me like Sage Steele, who I always thought I liked her. I liked how she got fired from ESPN. I know, a woman reporter, blah blah blah, but I always thought she was nice, and then I was kind of excited to hear she was Catholic, sort of. Excited to hear she was Catholic, but then she's saying this is cute. The Ainsley's so cute. There's nothing cute about Ainsley's personality here. This is intolerable. He asks her, he's trying to be nice, and he's like, hey, back me up on what I told Sage 20 minutes ago before you were on the phone. What do you always say that I always think? He's trying to get her to say that, oh my word. You know, Ainsley won't even say, oh my G, she'll always say, oh my word. And she's like, well, forget that. I want to talk about, did you know he was Catholic? And she like rolls right over him. Okay. Then at 59:30, we still have Ainsley talking about how she had to teach Sean Hannity, the wizened theologian who went to 12 years of Catholic school, that you can't say GD.
So I never said it again.
Oh, wait, let me go back a little bit.
Ainsley Earhart.
So again, he has 12 years of Catholic school, and he needed his concubine to tell him that you can't say GD.
He needed his whore to tell him not to invoke the deity to damn someone to hell.
What? But they do.
I grew up, every other word was the F word.
Damn, bro.
Just for the record.
That's fucking sick.
It's like the worst.
Oh, I learned in Huntsville. I never said it again.
Sage, he didn't know.
I didn't know. I really didn't.
He really
I know.
Now, thank God for Ainsley.
No, thank God for the owner who was studying his Bible when he was yelling at me. This is in 1990.
Oh, that's right, because that was the beginning.
Yeah, this is when he
of your career.
This got really uncomfortable. Ainsley was.
How do you not know one of the 10 commandments?
It's one of the 10 commandments. Well, because look, he's too busy learning all the other, deep truths of the New Testament and the Old Testament to pay attention to the beginner stuff, the 10 commandments. Bro, this is Sean Hannity, wise scholar, okay, of the Bible. He knows so much. He's such a smart guy, not just some construction worker at all. Don't be tempted to think that. It got really uncomfortable because Ainsley was on the phone like 20 minutes, and she's getting jealous that he was sitting there with Sage Steele, because he kind of is flirting. He's using his boomer moves, right?
And let's be honest, once these people divorce their wives, like, she's already number 2. Like,
right. Once you pop, you can't stop.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what's to stop them from divorcing again and again and again? Because Ainsley's now when they got together, she was in her 30s. Now she's probably in her 50s.
And I think she was in her 40s.
She was in her 40s. Now she's probably like pushing 60. So he could always find a younger chick. Like, what's to stop him from doing this all over again?
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be the kind of permanent anxiety that a demon lives its life in with these divorce and remarrieds. I'm not even just making a joke about this. Oh, she's only 49, Ainsley. She's only 49. But you got, once hey, Sean traded out his old wife for the younger model. What's to stop him from doing that again? He already rationalized. He's got that whole rationalization spun up. Just don't read the book of Matthew. Don't read the book of Luke, at least not, chapters 19 and 16 respectively. And we good. But also, so it just got really uncomfortable. Did you notice how uncomfortably thick her fake little Southern accent is on the phone? It's like, it's not like that on Fox News.
Yeah.
Fox and Friends. Fox and Friends. Ainsley across. Sean Hannity is doing Ainsley across America.
Just want to remind everybody that if you'd like to join the show to make a comment or a question, ask a question of Tim, then you can use that link in chat. We'll do that last, 10, 20 minutes of the show. So you can queue up now. If you'd like to join the show, feel free to do so to make a comment or whatever is on your mind. Should we continue on with this clip, or do you want me to go on to the next one?
I think we got it from there. I think hour, 2 minutes.
Okay, sir. I mean, this is just every single person who's ever been divorced. This is just how they talk.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just silly. It's just so silly. And it's so see-through. We all know what's motivating you. Like, you're not going to trick us. Like, we know what's going on here.
To the church. However, she is right in that story she told, in as much as I was raised Catholic. And she said, well, do you know you're going to heaven? And I'm like, well, that's up to God. I don't get to choose that. I don't deserve to go. I know that part. And I really believe nobody deserves to go. She said, well, that's the whole point. Jesus, came to earth, was born of the Virgin Mary, became man, suffered, died, was buried to reconcile us to the Father. And then John 3:16, right? For whoever loves the Lord, right?
Mm-hmm.
For whoever.
John 3:16, help me out. For God so loved the world,
look,
that he sent his only begotten Son,
the average
believes in him.
The average, we got to pause here.
Yeah.
The average Milwaukee Brewers fan, or Milwaukee Bucks fan, or Chicago Bears fan, who holds up like John 3:16, never a moment spent in seminary, knows the full recital of John chapter 3, verse 16. And Sean's like, what does he say? Could you rewind it to the beginning?
Sure. Sorry.
He's like, God's bready goodness. He's just
wait, and this clip, you want me to remind it to this?
Yeah,
clip?
just like 15 seconds. Look, listen, I want your commentary here, Steph. It's funny. What he said, it's like John 3:16. Jesus has his holy
stuff,
selfness with his stuff. How does it go again?
That's to the church. However, she is right in that story she told, in as much as I was raised Catholic. And she said, well, do you know you're going to heaven? And I'm like, well, that's up to God. I don't get to choose that. I don't deserve to go. I know that part. And I really believe nobody deserves to go. And she said, well, that's the whole point. Jesus, came to earth, was born of the Virgin Mary, became man, suffered, died, was buried to reconcile us to the Father. And then John 3:16
here,
right? For whoever loves the Lord, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. John 3:16, help me out. For God so.
Isn't this
for whoever loves the Lord enjoys the bready goodness?
This is like what every bum holds up over the overpass, like this verse.
Well, and sports games, that's what I was saying. You go to your average drunken slob at the Cheers bar or Milwaukee Brewers game or whatever. They're holding up John 3:16. He's like, for whoever likes Jesus will becometh a heaven man.
Help me out here. Help me out here. Please help me.
Please help. Like, Sean, you spent the first half hour of this interview attempting to convince us that you wrote the Bible and translated it, commissioned by Pope Damasus I into Latin. Sean Hannity translated the Clementine Bible, the Vulgate version anyway. But then he's like, so how does it go again? And then Ainsley gets on her extra thick Baptist accent. And one thing Sean's going to have to do, if he's going to be hanging out with his new hoe, Ainsley Earhart, and going to his deep South evangelical church, you got to start saying Jesus the correct way. Okay? Can we hit play on that?
Sure.
Gotta say Jesus.
Oh, here we go.
Love the world that he
But he
gave
sent his only begotten Son. Whoever believes in him shall have everlasting life. And then on the cross, this day you'll be with me in paradise.
That's not from that
my
verse.
favorite phrase. I say it at the end of every TV show: "Let not your heart be troubled." The biblical quote goes on to say, "In my Father's house are many mansions, and I go to prepare a place for you, so that where I am, ye shall also be." It's a beautiful phrase.
Beautiful.
And also the Hannity
show.
abridged translation of the Bible says, "And in the mansion I go to prepare a sexy room for thou and thine new concubine of flaxen hair, and smaller proportion than your bigger, less comely real wife." Bro, this is cope. Like, Protestantism is cope. And it's cope for divorcees, other losers of all sort, contraceptors, criminals, violent criminals, people doing hard time. Okay. And it's a religion that's about 500 years old. Most denominations, like Ainsley Across America's denomination, is non-denominational. It's really only like 100 years old. It's like a man-made religion. Okay. You could get the real faith, Roman Catholicism. We'd even let you slip by with Eastern Orthodoxy, though they got kind of soft on some of the pelvic issues. But that goes back 2,000 years. That's the thing. A religion has to go back to its founder, and Protestantism was made up by losers for losers. And Ainsley somehow convinced Sean that this loser man-made version of Christianity, kind of like Mormonism, is the real version. It's very pathetic, but he allowed himself to be fooled. That's my final commentary here. He as do all these loser remarried divorcees, he allowed himself to be fooled because he's being led around by a short sword. And he wants to hear you can divorce, you can contracept, you know? There's some sort of commotion here.
Sorry, baby coughing.
Anyway, yeah. Okay, so what do we say to that? Does anybody want to get in here and defend Sean Hannity?
There was a comment. She was very unhappy with the way that you, Tim Gordon, how dare you take on a lighthearted tone on this very serious topic. Maria says, "This is one of your very worst shows. You were sarcastic and arrogant and holier than thou, laughing like some teenage kid instead of having a serious, respectful discussion." And also she wanted to add, which Catholic ladies love to remind you of, that is not very Catholic of you, Tim Gordon.
Maria.
How dare you?
Maria. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Maria. I don't know what you want me to tell you, man. Look, if you don't laugh, Maria, you cry. And it just feels like, I hate to go to a little known part of the Bible, but judge not lest ye be judged. And I learned that from Sean Hannity. So think about that. It's the infinite regression of judge nots, right? Because judge not, actually, the better translation is condemn not, meaning don't stone someone. It doesn't mean you can't like make a Thomistic judgment following upon a Thomistic apprehension. That's what your mind is for. So if you give in to the Hannity way, or the relativist way, or the apostate's way, or the remarried divorcees way, or the contraceptor's way, which is probably something endemic, I'm sorry, Maria, to your generation, likely. Not completely refined to it, but very characteristic of it. Then you have an infinite regression. You can't judge me for me judging Sean Hannity, and he realized that when he was Catholic, he was judging others. See, that's what I mean. If judge means what Protestants say it does, then you can't judge anyone. So, Maria, I just wish we could be friends. And you can call in and chew me out to my face. I will not yell at you. I'll just sit here and take it. I'll take it like Sean Hannity taking a lecture from Ainsley Across America. I'll sit here, I'll smile. But you know I'm right. Maria, you know I'm right.
The big watermelon says, I I have a child's sense of humor. That's just funny. I don't know.
It's a funny name.
I love it. Okay.
Probably not his Christian birth name, but
The Big Watermelon says, can you red pill NJF on the Novus Ordo? Bros, Catholic takes are so cringe.
I mean, I don't.
No,
probably not. No, but number. I guess that's number one. Number two would be. I think he's been turned off by like nerdy trads saying you're not in the club if you don't do this stuff that is not one of the precepts of the faith. And so he's right to say, look, I have the precepts of the faith. I go to mass weekly. I go to confession when I mortal sin. I will not get not that, divorce, marriage is for life. I will not get some divorce. I will not use contraception. These are, those aren't technically the 5 precepts of the faith, but, go attend mass on holy day. I would ask Sean Hannity, okay, you're such a whiz kid. Just tell me the 5 precepts of the faith that you're supposed to know before you make your first communion. How many councils, ecumenical councils have there been in the history of the church? Sorry. Which council does the creed come from? Stuff, 2nd grade level stuff. But with regard to Nick Fuentes and kind of being a contrarian against trads on the TLM, I mean, I agree. Like when you say the Novus Ordo is super based and it's just as good, like that's obviously not right. I think he's being a contrarian. I think because he's a smart cat, he's got to know that's not right. He's got to know if he's ever been to a Latin mass. I don't know if he has. Like, you tell me if he said he has. He's got to know, whoa, this is way better. But he gets annoyed by the dweebs at the TLM that are making an otherwise badass looking, just beautiful liturgy look kind of dweeby by dweebing it up with their dweebiosity. So I get what he's doing. Yeah, I agree. He should. I mean, why not just say what I say? I guess would be my message to him. Why not just be like, look, you don't have to be a nerd. You don't have to talk like a dork. You don't have to act like you've never played a sport or lifted a weight or talked to a girl before or ripped out an eyeball. You can do all that cool stuff and still go to the TLM. And I think he's just sick of trads nerding everybody out and pontificating so much. And I get that, but no, the Novus Ordo is not equal to the TLM. But it's a permissible opinion, just a wrong one.
We'll get to some super chats.
Do people want to Skype in here or do whatever they did?
Yeah,
is the thing.
Let's see. Last time, lots of people queued up.
Maria seems like she was going to try to get me.
You think you can take Maria? She
like
joins in and challenges.
What if she's willing to use Sensei Hannity's Krav Maga or whatever? Then I'm gonna be missing some eyeballs.
We have to beg people to join the show.
She's literally mad that I was just trying to make the show fun for everybody.
She doesn't like your sense of humor, Tim Gordon.
Maria.
She didn't care for that at all. And that was very un-Catholic of you.
I'm so sorry, Maria. Gosh, I just feel like we got off on the wrong foot.
That's the stupidest. Sorry, that's the stupidest thing women say, to men online. That's dumb. Very un-Catholic of you. It's like, just shut up. I'm so sick of women, Catholic women saying that. Okay. And that was very un-Catholic of me, I guess. Sevitarian 7467 sent $10 and says, Handy looks like he needs his lunch money taken.
He needed it.
You would like to try.
You know what he would say to you? Don't make me hurt you. You would step back and do this. And he would Bro, that was the hardest I've laughed in a long time. Did Maria really not like the fighting segment? I mean, I thought that was wholesome family fun.
These broads that say that stuff have no sense of humor. They're lame. They're boring. They're yeah. I'm sure she didn't. She thought that was very un-Catholic.
Well, that hurt me.
She was pursing her lips and she was very hurt by that. High maintenance Catholic broads. Okay.
Well, I'm hurt that she's hurt.
Genario Castellone 8030 sent $5 and says Sean has to be a psyop at this point.
You know what? I might have thought that before I watched this interview. I think he's just a really, really, really big gay dork. I'm not even joking. Like, I was mad at him when I heard that he was talking smack on the faith and he apostatized and all that. But then I watched it and I was just like, he's just a big gay nerd. And he's getting his ego inflated by hanging out with these news broads. And you could tell he was even kind of flirting with Sage Steele. And she was shining him on. I started feeling bad for him. I'm not joking. I'm not joking now. So I don't think he's a psyop. I think he's just a really, really dweeby guy that now, I guess because he has money and some power at Fox News, can make women pretend to believe that he can rip off a chicken's head by furrowing his breath.
It's funny because like these guys with a lot of money and power, it just shows me that he didn't think that was going to be funny. Not enough people laugh at him in real life. That just tells me like this guy, nobody's laughing at him when they really need to be, or like bringing him down to size.
Well, it's Emperor's New Clothes.
Yeah, it is. Because like that 7 minutes of him like giving demonstrations on how to rip somebody's eyeballs out.
I showed my whole family. I showed my daughters and my son. I was like, I got home from the grocery store and I was like, Steph, this is the kind of humor that you and I live for. And it's going to be it's going to be fun.
You came home with tears in your eyes, like just laughing so hard. And I normally like to be with you when you find things like that, but you were off doing an errand or whatever and came home and you're like, I saw the funniest thing I've ever seen. And again, sorry, but for the baby hiccups here. So we need an AI of Hannity as Guile throwing a sonic boom.
Guile. Probably in Hannity's eyes, he's probably more a Ryu guy, handsome, really with white features, Japanese
Not
guy.
a Ken.
Or he said Guile. But no, because his hair he'd be Ryu, Hayabusa.
Oh, there you go. All right.
All right. Well, so that's it. We'll if you want to debate me, I guess Maria didn't, then we'll leave that open for more technical or topical or dense shows, but we don't really have to debate this. We can all just admit what a big gay dork Sean Hannity is. And it's sad he left the faith. Some woman on Twitter was like, we should pray 3 Hail Marys for him to return to the church. And I did it, as soon as I read it. So pray for Sean Hannity to return to the church. Sage Steele, hopefully she doesn't leave the faith. She never enumerated what her problems with the church are. I couldn't possibly guess as a divorced remarried. But pray for these people. Cross yourself and just pray for all the apostates of the church to return. God bless you all. Don't forget, we got a giant 2x2 debate that'll be live Central Standard Time on Friday. I'm hoping to have Father Chad Ripperger on the show sometime between now and then. I'm waiting to hear what's available in his schedule. But this Friday, 4 days from now, at 1 Central Standard Time, we'll have a 2x2 debate with a couple learned doctors and Hugh Owen of the Colby Center. My brother is one of the doctors, myself. It'll be 2x2, old Earth versus young Earth. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a very go at 'em debate, and it'll be here on Rules for Retrogrades. God bless you guys. Thanks for listening, laughing, loving, and crying tears of joy at what a big gay dork Sean Hannity is with me. Des Volt.